Sunny, Bonani. Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good people. I'm not sure what time of day you're actually listening to this from and where, but I'm just happy we getting to meet, and we have that date, you and I, on all Saturdays, and I'm happy. I hope you're as happy as I am every time we have this session, because obviously if you're happy, that means the next person might know why you're happy, and if the next person knows why you're happy, that can only mean more growth, and more people get to engage with us, more people get to listen in. We're hoping to be adding that extra value in your lives just by coming through, giving you all the insights, just equipping, make sure we also get the type of exposure to actually come to you with content that means and adds value to your life. So that's just the joys of Saturday mornings where we come to you. Thank you again to all the people, obviously, who are also still coming in numbers, who are just adding and just making sure that you're listening in, you're supporting this venture. Thank you to those people. We note you, we appreciate you. We look at that and it gives us the kind of courage, the kind of groove to make sure that we continue with the good work of coming to you. Of course, we do come to you every day of the week now. So if you don't know, please make sure that you know and the next person knows, because that's one of the next big things that we've actually achieved since I've come to this podcast. So yeah, I'm just hoping to come through with the new month, new energy, new feel, make sure that we do and touch base on some of the issues that are making us, converting us to better people and converting us, giving us the type of feel that we want going forward. And as time progresses, we obviously grow, we obviously become the better you that you want to be. So that's the crux of it all. We always mention, ladies and gentlemen, you can reach us. We come to you. So you can reach us on all social platforms. If you're on YouTube, that's even great, because you get to see some of the videos, get to see some of the stuff. But yeah, you find us on Empowerment Podcast there. We'd love for you to just subscribe. We'd love for you to just comment, give us some of your suggestions, advices, and obviously just make sure you are with us in there. On Facebook, we are Empowerment Podcast. We also have pages on Instagram. Our handle is @empower_podcast. There's also a TikTok account, Empowerment Podcast, guys. We are everywhere. So please, you come through. You make sure you are with us through this journey, and you'll also get to listen to some of the other episodes from the other team members. I tell you, sometimes you get to a week and you're listening to those episodes every day. You're getting something new. You're getting something valuable. It is honestly life-changing. So thank you again. So maybe I'll get down to business. Probably won't be long this Saturday. I just also have a few things that I was just considering this week. I actually spoke to a cousin of mine, 30-year-old. Let me just say the topic on the crux of what I want to talk about today actually came from that conversation. It was just generally about catching up, and obviously we spoke about a lot of things. We mentioned where we are, what we're doing, what we're busy with, and some of the things that were mentioned there in that conversation got me thinking about a lot of things, specifically maybe staying on your lane. Maybe that's going to be the topic of what I want to talk about today, because I actually, it was not the most productive conversation. I think that's, let me just put that out there, because here's a cousin of mine, say just reached 30s, had actually a dream of being in the teaching industry. So has never followed this dreams purely because, in terms of the funds, in terms of all the type of resources that would have assisted to get into that line of studying and going forward, he didn't get that kind of opportunities. But when I posed questions around what had been attempted to try and get him to, say, register even for the type of financial aids that are there to get us to register, get us to maybe enroll in whatever course that you'd want to, and just follow that kind of ambition, see where it gets you. And the type of responses I received from there as well were really sad. You find that you see and you feel a lot of people see themselves that, in fact, some things that they were just never meant for some people. But that conversation really did take a place in my heart, and the type of conversation we had is the type of conversation I want us to talk about today. So, going into it deeper, I'm really of the mindset that a lot of us are using every excuse that is available to give and maybe justify the reasons why we're not chasing our dreams as hard as we can. And I'll make that parallel conversation to having you stay on your lane. But right now, I just want to touch base on this aspect of how we continue to downplay ourselves, how we continue to because listen, no one actually owes you anything in life. That, I think, is the one thing that we as growing young adults need to first drill in. Specifically, each and every one of us is a leader in your own life. So I'm a leader in my own life. You're a leader in your own life. So it's your onus to work for what you want. That makes you the most powerful person that you can be. So as soon as everything that's around you looks like an excuse, believe me, that's where your life is basically heading, to the excuse zone where you've never even tried to access even half of the things that you've looked at. It's enough not dreaming. It's enough not even having a dream. For me, there was a dream with this case where I was speaking to my cousin. But as I say, everything you ask about, there is a reason that he gives to show you that he's just covered himself in this in the circle of excuses and why nots onto why he can't get to that specific dream. So that really came to me. But as we're talking about that, I really want to just start talking and giving mention to the importance of us sticking and staying to our lanes, good people. Not every one of us has the same, it rang to me, not everyone has the same privileges as the next person. Some of the type of challenges that he or the next person might have in achieving his type of goals might not be the same as yours. But what I've noticed, because, for example, when I even considered saying, but then you can still go ahead and register now, and you can still enroll and just go for your course and make sure that you finish it. And that conversation was swiped away as if I was making the funniest joke. And it hit me, because if you are, say, plus 30, you are 30, let's just use that. You're 30, and all of a sudden, having to enroll in a course seems like a joke or something that is not even thinkable. But let's say you talk over 3 or 4 year course. What difference does it make to your life if you don't enroll and carry on living the life that you're living, where you said, okay, well, nothing, as opposed to if you do enroll and have a go at it, and then the next 4 years, because in the next 3-4 years, the time does not stop. So in terms of the time not stopping, that means you will be that age at that period after 4 years, whether you've gone to do your studies or whether you've gone to do the things that we were talking about or whether you didn't. So it really just kind of switched me a bit off. I didn't understand that, to say I'm old to go back to get to my studies. That's still puzzles me. So another reason that actually came up to me is that pure reasoning around you being old to actually start a journey chasing your dreams is one of the most ridiculous things I've heard, and I'm honestly trying to pick up why that is, and then it sticks to me that maybe the reason that kind of attitude, the reason that kind of mentality is there is because we are just not staying on our lanes. Because that next person that you know might have gone and studied and then had this and that opportunity and is doing this and that is living that kind of life with a bit more, say, accomplishments. That person is the reason why you are old to start your journey. And that's exactly why I say the need for us to stay on our lane is huge. If you think about it, maybe I'll start with the first example, the simplest. We need to know that not everything happens the same time for every person. And that is because each and every one of us is unique. So if you think about it, as soon as I'm just thinking I was a very athletic person, and I remember one of my favorite races was the 100 meters, believe it or not, and I was actually the fastest in school if you didn't know, so now you know. But the thing about the 100-meter race, and you probably look at it if you're into athletes, if you're into athletics, maybe in sports, when that race starts and when that gunshot goes, each and every one of those athletes has their own lane. So here's the thing. Each and every athlete that runs that race will be given a time, a finish time, regardless of whether it was number one, the best time, the second best time, the third best time, the fourth. They'll be given a time of completion for that race. That's great. But the only athlete that would not be given a time for completing that race, even if they were the fastest, even if they get to the final stage as the winner per se, but if their race, and if during their race they've had stepped out of their lane, entered any other athlete's lane, it does not matter how fast or how slow. In fact, that time for that athlete does not even go under their name. That's actually a disqualification. You will not even receive what times you did. And for me, there's something for us to take right there. How we run our races is important. Staying on your lane is important. If we are not staying on our lane, we get the type of pressures around this is not happening to me at this age, hence this is not right. And then you start making a mix-up of everything in your life, and that's actually, I was just looking at some of the things that were started by people at very late ages. To actually think that people at your ages, say 20s, 30s, 40s, are thinking they're late to be achieving or living and realizing their dreams it's so funny. It's funny. Because, okay, maybe here's some names I've got for you. At age 35, a John Combe founded WhatsApp, one of the most successful platforms, but that's fine. Jimmy Wales, at 35, he founded Wikipedia. So that's an information engine. If you want to know anything, if you want to find out, that's one of the most informative information engines. But let's go a bit deeper. Ray Kroc started McDonald's at the age of 52. And our discussions are at 30 that you're too old to do something. John Pemberton invented Coca-Cola when he was 55. Harlan Sanders started KFC at 65. People, okay, yeah, let me not even go far. Alpha Selepe, the famous G65, our own very old South African local musician, at the age of 65, He got this country up and down. At the age of 65, you're officially signing up as a producer, as and that's the accomplishments you are able to make the entire country jump. So what are we talking about here? What are we saying? So I'm probably going to leave this topic and I'm probably going to just get back to you and talk about it, just remind you, and it's the most important thing that you should be actually considering. Staying on your lane is one of the most important things. So just emphasis on that. Stay in your lane. Stay in your car, stay in your road, stay in your world. Stop minding other people's businesses. There's nothing that is actually hampering your progress, your vision, your mission, like minding other people's business. I'm hoping this does actually find some place in some people's hearts, because it's going to be the change in our going forward. Don't let your food get cold worrying what's on my plate. You worry what's on your plate. You worry about what you've planned. You worry about what you have got as part of your milestones, as part of your agenda, as part of your vision, as part of your mission. You worry about that. Specifically, when you talk about me, I'm actually living some of the best lives, the best years in my life, because I've realized now how different I am and how different I've always been. And it actually took me a while, but I've actually accepted that I'm actually, I'm unique. I'm unique, and that's okay. Because if you get that and you start believing in that, and that's the way you look at you, it starts getting you looking at your life differently, and it more importantly gets you staying on your lane. So I don't want to go further. That's all that I wanted to just speak to you about today. And I'm thanking you ever so much again for coming in. Hope you have a beautiful Saturday going forward. Do make sure you follow us. Do make sure you like our pages. Do make sure you give us your comments. It's Yanga the MC once again signing out, and see you next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.